My name is Chef Yves Dechaine, and we're here in the Greeter Village's Learning Kitchen with Justin Connors, on-air personality and production manager for Joy 96.5.
That's correct.
Awesome FM. Welcome, Justin, and thanks for being on the show with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait for this.
Right on. So today, it's summer. And it's berry season, and all the U-picks are open and stuff like that. So I thought today we'll show everyone how to make a lovely strawberry shortcake. But before we start doing that, let's talk about Joy FM. Let's talk a little bit about you. So what got you interested in, what got you started with Joy?
So I grew up in church my whole life, in youth group. And back then, I was only allowed to listen to Christian music.
Okay.
It's kind of a weird thing, but I got really into it. So when I was in high school, I was obsessed with it. And I knew everything about every band, and that's kind of like the knowledge that you don't really, you can't study for. It's a lifetime of learning.
Absolutely.
So then as I got older, I went into graphic design and did a Bachelor of Arts degree, and opportunity came up to intern at Joy during university. And I did it, and I remember thinking, man, if I could do that job, I'd be happy in my life. And then 11 years passed by after my internship, and I had some life changes, and then I got a call from the station manager at the time, and he said, hey, I got a job for you, come on in. I didn't even have to have a job interview.
Nice.
And I just kind of popped in and learned the job from scratch. So there's a lot of different things, and I just feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be, so it was a great job.
That's fantastic. So, as some of us know, but some of us don't know, the Joy FM is a Christian rock, Christian music
channel?
It's
a Christian top 40 station.
Gotcha, okay.
And we have a top 40 just like regular radio does. We follow the Billboard top 40 charts. They have one specifically for Christian music. So we have a mandate from the CRTC to play a certain percentage of Canadian music.
Okay.
So we have to kind of follow those guidelines as well.
Let's talk about why Fredericton felt the need for it. Let's talk about that a little bit.
All right, so 23 years ago we were founded, and before that the CRTC did not allow for one single faith to have a station.
Okay.
So we had to go with that, and then there was a window, and some guys, founding fathers, decided to come together, and they made it. And they made it so we're board managed, so that way it can just continue on. It's not a privately owned station. And so then 23 years later, here we are, and one of the things that sets us apart is we're not just music. We like to say we're more than radio.
Okay.
We're actively involved in the community, and we partner with a lot of nonprofits to bring them in and showcase what they're doing. And we're even launching a new impact partner program, which partners us with nonprofits and allows us to get other businesses and individuals involved where they donate, and then we can pass that along. And then we also connect groups that need maybe manpower. Say you need a bunch of people to come here to do something in the garden.
That's the whole point of a nonprofit, I guess, would be is to involve yourself into the community and help the community.
Yeah, absolutely. And we like to say we're listener supported. We rely on donations and people that believe in what we do, but we also sell advertising, so we have a unique license that lets us do both.
What kind of fundraising efforts do you do? Do you guys do barbecue? Is there like do you go online and donate?
We rely on online donations, monthly giving. Also, we do concerts. We just had a Jordan St. Cyr. He's a top 40 Christian artist, and we make a little bit of a profit off that. But our big one every year is called the Share the Joy Week.
Okay.
And that's our 1 week telethon where people call in and donate money throughout the week. And that's our big fundraising opportunity through the year.
Right on. So is it 100% Christian music, or are you
100,
paying? Is it? So.
Yep, 100% Christian music.
So Justin, I know you work closely with us, and I know that one of our employees is on your board as well. But what other organizations, I guess, would benefit from your help?
So some of the community groups that we work with we've honed in on food insecurity and homelessness. And we're working with Youth in Transition, and also another one that we've done is Fredericton Community Kitchens. And something that we like to do with those types of organizations is kind of profile things that people don't realize they might do. For example, the Fredericton Community Kitchens, they're not just a kitchen like a soup kitchen.
That's right.
They also do the meals inside schools, and they do the Cat's Kitchen, or they help with the Cat's Kitchen at FHS and different things like that. So we're trying to bring awareness to maybe the parts of the organization that the public doesn't really know about. And
Well, all the hidden work and all
Right.
the behind the scenes kind of thing. Well, that's fantastic.
Exactly.
So if you're an organization that's looking for help and funding, how do you go about approaching, or can you approach Joy FM? Do you guys
Absolutely.
have like an online form or something? Do you come to the station? Tell me how that works.
So we're launching this in September. So right now we're collecting interest
Okay.
from the community groups. So yeah, go on joyfm.ca and you can send us a message that way. Or you can connect with Luke Budrow. He's our station manager, and we can give him a call at our station at 454-9600. And you can talk to him and he'll gladly walk you through it and have a meeting. He's been doing meetings all week, so it's been great.
So yeah, he's used to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
he's awesome.
Fantastic. So you said you're more than just music. So you play the top 40 and things like that.
Yeah.
What other type of programming do you offer? Is there?
Yeah. So we have some spoken word. There's a local church in town called Serenity Baptist, Serenity Free Will Baptist.
Okay.
And they send us their program once a week, and we put it in. There's also national organizations that will send their programming in. And then we have a top 40 countdown show that comes from Dallas, Texas, and that covers all the top 40 in the North America. They consider us domestic, is considered both Canada and the U.S. for
Okay.
that. So we do it that way. And then beyond that top 40, I kind of sift through and I try to find the Canadian artists. And sometimes it's tough. You have to find people that you want the quality to be there, but at the same time you need to give Canadian emerging artists a chance. So it's finding that balance.
Well, that's it. And I guess I'm not very familiar with you. You've got the depth of knowledge of Christian music.
Right.
I grew up listening to classic rock, so I guess we've got that knowledge of music, but you're in a different sector. So I was going to say, is it hard? Are there a lot of Canadian Christian music?
There are not. So thankfully, because in Christian music specifically, there aren't a lot. The CRTC only makes us do 5%, which some other stations in town I've heard can be up to 50. So we're lucky that way.
Yeah.
We don't have to play too much, but finding them, a lot of them will submit. So it's not like I have to go out and search too hard. It's more sifting through what's submitted because we get so many submissions and figuring out what works for us. And something unique about Christian music is it's not just one style. Whereas a classic rock station, it can be only classic rock. Well, we have we have pop, we have country, we have rap, we have everything, and it's finding the balance of what people like.
And my next question to you is, what would define a Christian music song? Is it the artist saying that they are Christian?
Yes.
Or is it the lyrics in the song that get
So it's a bit of both.
Okay.
It's the professing faith of the Christian artist, if that's their mission and what they do. We also play some music by artists who are Christians, but not necessarily a Christian artist. And that, you just kind of have to scan the lyrics and look through it. And that's where the knowledge of Christian music comes in. Because I've researched and I know all these bands and I hear who's up and coming, and it's just finding that out. It's very interesting to be able to sift through and kind of
that's
determine
it. Yeah,
what-
and then there was a couple of things online the other day that
Yeah.
we were sifting through, and something like popular bands that
Yeah.
you didn't know were Christian.
Absolutely.
Like everyone knows that Creed is a Christian band, but there's a comedian going on saying that the Killers are a Christian
Right,
band.
okay, yeah.
So I don't know if you've heard that rumor or
Yeah,
anything like that.
I have heard that. We haven't played them, but I have heard that.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Yeah. There's some that they cross over and people don't realize. There's one, for example, I can think of called "Need to Breathe." They were on tour with Taylor Swift for a while, and they're a Christian band. They're Christians in a band, but we play them a lot.
So we've found out a little bit about Joy FM, but after the break, we'll come back and I'll show Justin how to make a really easy strawberry shortcake. Welcome back. Again, we're in the Green Villagers Learning Kitchen with Justin Connors, on-air personality for Joy 96.5 FM.
That's it.
And we are going to show you how to make these lovely strawberry shortcake.
Okay, perfect.
So, shortcakes with the biscuits and things like that is a traditional maritime thing, but making biscuits sometimes can be daunting, and so I've got these drop biscuits, which are fail-safe, and that I make all the time.
So I need that. I need it to be
Do you?
fail-safe.
Perfect. So what we're going to do is we'll make the biscuits, and then we'll just show you how to make it after that. So biscuits, really, really easy. 2 cups of flour, and into the 2 cups of flour, I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of baking powder,
Okay.
1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 3 tablespoons of sugar.
Okay.
So when I'm making these for savory applications, so for just biscuits with gravy or biscuits for my stew, I don't add the sugar. But
Okay.
because I'm doing something sweet with it, I add the sugar. 3 teaspoons to make it super sweet because we're making a dessert, but you can adjust it.
Okay, great.
So we've got all our dry ingredients right there, and all I'm going to do is just mix that all together, just like this. And then to that, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of butter. You can use butter, you can use margarine, you can use coconut oil, whatever you'd like to use. You just need to use a fat.
Is it salted or unsalted when you do it?
It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
I've added salt, so you could go with unsalted.
Right.
But if you're working with margarine and those kinds of things, they're a little bit salted.
Yeah.
But yeah, salted or unsalted, there's really no big difference when it comes
It doesn't
to.
make a difference in how it turns out.
No, not at all. You just want that fat.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for. So we got that like that, and then we're going to add a cup of milk, just like this. And all we're going to do is we're just going to bring it together, and it's going to give you a nice shaggy dough. There we go. So while I'm mixing this up, let's talk about that impact program that you were talking about earlier. So let's learn a little bit more about that. How does that work?
So it's really interesting. It kind of spawned from Luke and I after you were in for our share week.
Okay.
And we were just talking about Greener Village and learning about what you guys do here. We didn't realize all of the things that you did. You know, when you think about Greener Village, sometimes you just think, oh, they're a food bank.
Yes, yeah.
And we realized quickly that you're not just a food bank. And so we thought, what's a way we can work together to be able to shine a light, not only that, but help maybe provide resources or manpower and connect people with organizations like Greener Village, with the church, or with private businesses that want to help out. And so because we kind of serve as a hub at Joy, where we can make those connections because we deal with both every day. And that's where it really spawned from, is us talking with you and realizing what you guys do. And then we said we can do that. We can take other nonprofits and do the same model with them. And we're actually profiling you, Greener Village, in March.
Oh, fantastic.
That you're going to be our nonprofit organization of the month in March.
Well, that's awesome. So we've got this shaggy dough right here, and I'm just going to grab a sheet pan we've lined with parchment paper. And Justin, what I'm going to get you to do is just, as I clear this off like this, is just all we're going to do is you're just going to scoop them out just like this, and just pop them on the pan.
Too easy. Looks
So
like ice cream.
while you're doing that,
How many should I do?
let's do a 6.
Okay.
So we'll do 6.
6.
So while you're doing that, what kind of reach?
In the greater Fredericton area, we're around 8,000.
Okay.
And then we go international. Like when you look at our stats online, we have people from all over the world. I think there's right now 114 countries that stream Joy 96.5 every week. And
Wow.
it's just an incredible amount of people that do it.
I never really thought about that that your viewership could go international. I thought it was just kind of into the hub of the city. So I guess these profiling and all this kind of stuff is a great way to get all the nonprofits the
something
attention
I
they
noticed, I was checking our stats last week, and the amount of Americans that listen is almost online what the amount of Canadians. I think we have around 1,000 to 1,200 people streaming every week in Canada, and the U.S. numbers were around 800 to 900. Which is incredible.
So what we're going to do now, Justin, is I'm just going to slide these in the oven, and while we slide these in the oven, we'll start working on the other parts of it. But to put in the oven, you want your oven hot at about 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. And we're going to leave these until they're nice and golden brown. That means anywhere between 12 and 15 minutes. We are going to make the cream for our strawberry shortcake. Okay. So traditional strawberry shortcake usually goes with a whipped cream, and then, or a chantilly cream, so it's whipped up, there's vanilla in it and all that stuff. But I find that when you're buying whipping cream, and especially in this day and age where everything is so expensive, you want to buy something that's got multi-purpose. Okay. So a whipping cream is great, but it's really decadent. You're not going to have it in your cereal. People who drink it in their coffee are going to use a coffee cream. So I chose Greek yogurt, and Greek yogurt is great because it's nice, it's super thick, and it's luxurious, and all we need to do is sweeten it up.
Okay, so, I would have never guessed that.
So you use a plain Greek yogurt, or if you want for this, you can buy the vanilla one.
Okay.
And then you just kind of add sweetness to it. If you don't have yogurt, I've used sour cream as well before. Greek yogurt and sour cream are kind of interchangeable in a lot of different recipes, depending on your taste, because they've got that nice bright tang, and that's kind of what you want. So for this recipe, we keep it really, really simple. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some of our honey here from that we farm here at the Greener Village through our pollination project. So I've got 2 cups of Greek yogurt and 2 tablespoons of honey. And basically all we're going to do is we're just going to whip it up just like this.
Oh, that's so good.
It does, doesn't it? And then you can, if you don't have honey, I mean, you can use icing sugar, you can use granulated sugar, any kind of sweetener you want to use. I've seen people use maple syrup, which is really, really nice too. There we go.
So you added honey instead of sugar.
Yeah.
What would be the difference?
So with honey and sugar, with honey, they say it's kind of doubly sweet. So if you're going to add sugar, you're going to add a little bit more sugar than you would honey. So 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, because honey feels sweeter on the palate. So we're done with the cream. And now we'll get to the part, or the star of the show is the strawberries, right? And this year, strawberries were an early season, which is great because then we can extend it. So there's strawberry shortcake, strawberry pie, all kinds of lovely things. And like I said, my favorite thing to do is strawberry shortcakes. Let's look at these. So we've got these lovely strawberries, not from our garden, because our strawberries we just planted. So we're hopefully a fall season for them. But right now, these come from the local U-Pick. Someone came in and they donated them to us, which is fantastic. Amazing. So we're just going to clean them up really, really quick. And
so when you're picking strawberries, what are you looking for in a good strawberry to know that it's a good one to put in?
Well, you're looking for color. You're looking for something that's kind of even, nice and red. Something that has no real blemishes or anything on it. You can use those for other things, but because it's more of a showpiece with these. You're looking for something that, red all over. Some of them are kind of white, so you leave those on the vine until they're nice and red. Nice uniform color. Make sure that they're not too squishy. There's no pock marks. That kind of thing. And I find the smaller the berry, the nicer they are. I mean, I know that you get in the wintertime, you get those huge strawberries, but what do they taste like? They taste like water. So that's why local strawberries this time of year are fantastic.
That's incredible. So I'm surprised that you said the fall, because I only knew strawberries around here to be, June, July-ish. So people typically harvest in the fall?
Well, there's varieties of strawberries that will give you 2 harvests. So the first harvest is this time of year, and it's the most plentiful one. But some strawberry species will give you a second harvest. All right, so we're just going to clean our strawberries. So a lot of people have those fancy tools that'll just kind of pick out the stem, but you're going to see that there's still a little bit of stem right there. So all I do is I just kind of
shave the top off.
Shave the top off, just like that, and then I quarter them. You can quarter them, you can slice them, you can do them any which way you'd like. I like mine quartered because there's a little bit more substance to it, and it kind of just doesn't fall apart. And you'll see that we're going to sugar the berries, and by sugaring the berries, what it does is it kind of breaks them down and creates and pulls the juice out of. So it kind of creates like a jammy type deal, right? So
I had no idea.
We'll just do a few more. Just like this, just like that, one more, just like this. There we go. And then all we're gonna do is we're just gonna sprinkle just a little bit of sugar on top like that. And again, as much or as little as you want. I like it this time of year because the berries are sweet, but they're not super sweet. So there's still a little bit of tartness to it. So our biscuits are out of the oven, nice and golden brown. We've got our cream topping, or our honeyed yogurt, and then we've got our berries here macerating in the sugar. So we'll be back after this short break to assemble everything. Welcome back to Easy Eats. Again, we're in the Greener Village's Learning Kitchen with Justin Connors, on-air personality at Joy FM. So, Justin, you're not the only on-air personality, are you?
No, we have 3 shows that are every day, Monday to Friday. So Luke Budrow is our station manager, but he's the morning show host. I'm the midday noon host, and then my sister is actually the drive home show, and she's the Drive with Joe that's on the way home. But then we have some volunteers that do off shows, like on Friday nights we have a guy from Moncton. His name's Tia180 is his rapper name.
Okay.
He's a Christian hip hop artist, and he does an all Christian hip hop show on Friday nights, and it's called the Faith, Hope, and Hip Hop. And then on Saturday mornings we have two ladies named Rachel and Lee, and they do a women's ministry type talk show, and it's also put out as a podcast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right on. So everything's ready to assemble. So let's get to it. So basically, just grab your biscuit and...
I'm going to take this one because I like how it's that big chunk on this side.
Perfect. So all we're going to do, and you're going to notice that there's no knives except for this one.
Yep.
I just grab your biscuit
Okay.
and just split it where it naturally wants to split, and then we'll just put that down just like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to grab your whipped cream, and you're just going to give it a dollop just like that on top.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is I had some berries that I sat in sugar yesterday,
Okay.
and I kind of let them go.
Yep.
And you're going to see that by sitting in the sugar, they turn into this nice kind of compote-y jam type thing. So we're just going to give that a little dollop like that. And then you're just going to put a top
That's incredible.
on there just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to give this more yogurt just like that on the top. And then we're going to use these fresher berries just as a garnish. So kind of stand them up like this.
Yours looks nice.
Or any which way. There you go. You were talking about volunteers doing airtime and air
Yeah.
shows like that. So you spend a lot of time looking for volunteers for other organizations.
Yeah.
How's your volunteer pool?
So we typically need volunteers for the events that we do. Generally, if we just throw it out on Facebook, hey, we need volunteers, they come and they show up. But it would be nice to build a database of people that we can go to versus having to ask, 6 days before an event or something. So that's something to think about. We don't typically do that. So maybe I'll have to start a street team or something.
Perfect. And if you want to be part of the street team,
Yeah.
how do you go about it?
Yeah, just give us an email at admin@joynetwork.ca or just go on our website, joyfm.ca, and you can submit there through the contact form.
Perfect. So that looks great, but all you need to do is garnish it now. So we had
Okay.
some lovely spearmint
Oh.
growing in the garden.
Yep.
And so yeah, just grab a little sprig right there,
There we go.
pop it on top,
Here we go.
and there we go. And there you have it.
Beauty.
A nice strawberry shortcake made with
Thank
Greek
you.
yogurt.
Perfect.
And there we go. So before we taste all of this, let's give me a little bit of a profile of
Sure.
someone who would tune into your type of station.
Yeah, so typically the people that listen are family, people that have families, and it's not necessarily always the way, but they're busy, they're working. But something I love about our listeners is they're always willing to jump in where they're needed, and they have big hearts. Whenever we have a cause come in or somebody talking about a need, they're quick to jump in and be part and want to do something. Like, say you were to have a call out, we need X amount of whatever at Greener Village, and we put that out to them, they would be more than happy to jump in and come here and do whatever you needed. Another thing is they're loyal. There's only one Christian station that plays what we play. They don't, normally you're on a radio, you'll switch the dials, you'll jump around. They don't do that. Our average listenership on our stream is 3 hours.
Wow.
So they tune in and they just have it on. So they're a very loyal base, and that's something I love about them.
And you say for the 3 hours, when's the window, when's the pocket? When do they usually listen to you?
So online streaming is different because they're not in their cars.
Yeah.
So that's usually between like 9 and 1.
Okay.
But the listenership on the drive-in is probably the biggest, drive-in, drive home. And then people throughout the day and on their lunch hour.
So typically, like any other radio station,
Yeah.
you're getting those ups and downs throughout the day.
Exactly. Yeah, the stream, we can only really tell based off the stream when people are clicking on.
Okay.
But that usually follows work hours, so people want to have it on during the day, whether they're at home all day and they just have it in the background, or they're sitting at their desk and they want to have music play.
All we have left to do now, my friend, is
Give her a try.
give her a try. Taste it and
Let's
let me know
do
what you
it.
think.
Yeah. This looks incredible. That's so good. Oh, man.
Right on. Thanks a lot for joining me today.
Thank you.